What's the word? Words Illah, aka Drew Skills, aka Ill Doing It Too, and I'm here again with my good brother. You can introduce yourself to let people know.
Y'all know who it is, man. It's Grown Man 84, aka Mr. 4.0, aka Certified, aka Chosen One. I ain't gonna do no more AKAs. That's enough for y'all.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now, the point of this episode is basically a roundabout is education, but we're gonna start with just a quick, basically, a congratulations is in order to Mr. CMP here, Mr. Grown Man, Mr.
Appreciate
4.0. Call him 4.0 because he's got that 4.0 for his HVAC and he's certified in HVAC. You know,
Yeah.
so a quick congratulations is in order
Appreciate
for that.
that,
Just
brother.
wanted to say
Appreciate
that,
that.
you know,
Appreciate that.
and start off with let's just get a quick, you know, breakdown of what it was like for you. You know, I know it had been 14 years,
14 years.
since you had been in school. So
Yeah.
what kind of what do you think was finally that thing that you were like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. You know, I'm just gonna do this.
I mean,
Or was it like a number of things that
it
kind
was a number of things, you know, but the main one I say the main two things that really stuck to me is because I got tired of basically living from paycheck to paycheck, you know, and going to work and, you know, basically working my butt off to get a paycheck that it's just enough to pay bills and not have nothing else to save on, you know. And with me having a child, that's not, you know what I'm saying, that's not logical to me. So, you know, I went back and forth with it for about 3 years. 3 years, you know, telling, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. And then just one day one night I just, I prayed, you know, I told God, I said, God, give me the answer. If it's meant for me to go to school, show me. So I started seeing it on Facebook. I started seeing it on Instagram. I started hearing it on the radio. And I was like, well, there's my signs right there.
Right.
So I went ahead and did it. And even going into it, I was still nervous. Because you got to think 14 years, 14
Right.
years of not being in that classroom environment.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, it was kind of scary. It was.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I had to because I was pushing my son to be great in school. So I felt like, you know what, I have to do this because if I can do it, that's showing him that he can do it.
Right.
So it was kind of like I was his motivation, but he was my motivation too.
True.
You know, which kids should be your motivation to do better.
Absolutely.
And you know, it just went from there. And then the first month was crazy because, like I said, I had to get used to doing homework again and studying again, and it just getting out of that comfortable zone that I was in for so many years.
Right.
And my first couple tests, they weren't great, and I was like, you know what, man, I don't think this is for me. But then I just kept pushing myself, and then I had people like yourself and my other homie Nick. Shout out Nick. Y'all probably seen him later, another episode. But anyway, and I was basically like, nah, there's no quitters in here and no excuses. Okay. So I used that and I just kept pushing. And next month, aced my test, so on and so on and so on.
Yep.
And then when I got my, actually got my diploma or whatever you want to call it, class for finishing,
Mm-hmm.
it 4.0. And then about a month after that, I went and took the state test. I passed 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back to file the next month after that, which a couple
Last
weeks,
week, right?
last week,
Last week.
and passed.
Yeah.
Passed the things I need to pass, and here I am now, and that's why I call myself Mr. 4.0 certified.
There you go, guys. It's a quick breakdown. So
Yeah.
It definitely is a lot to take on. When you, like you said, just the sheer amount of time it had been. Since you had been in that sort of situation where you were, in that environment, like you said. So it was cool. That, like you said, who was it? Terrell said, he said, he just came out and told us, like, for real?
Yeah, that was my cousin.
I
yeah.
didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think you were going to do it,
He doubted me, you know.
Right.
And it's fine.
But that's fun, you know. Like you said, at the end of the day, you stuck to it. Some of that may have just been, you know, I'm sure you sensed it from people, you know, that were kind of like, oh man, I don't think he's gonna do it, you know. So
I got clowned, man. You too old to be trying to go back to school and trying to start a new career.
Right.
But you know, when it comes down to it, you're never too old.
Not at all.
You're never too old to learn.
Not at all. And that's a good way we can go into just education in general. You know, education, like, it shouldn't be just in the formal sense. That's a good thing, you know, definitely, because that gets you actual documentation to take into job interviews and to put on your resume and things of that nature that show actual proof of, you know, some education.
Exactly.
But just in a general term, in a broad term, you know, education should come from every single day of your life, you know, every situation that you're in, every single time that you've had a, you know, a hard time where maybe, or you had to learn the hard way, you know, like our parents told us certain times, you would do things being hard-headed and you would find out the hard way. I can't do that.
What do they say? What is it? A soft...
A hard head make for a soft ass.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
And that's, you know, and that's education by itself.
Yeah,
you know,
go.
And just, like I said, not necessarily, you know, I do preach to go to school because, you know, education is very important as far as in the school sense.
Yeah.
But if you're not a person who really doesn't want to sit in that classroom environment, pick up books, read.
Yep.
I mean, it's just... Look up stuff online. I mean, it's just so many different things you can do with education. Education is also learning from your mistakes. Because you know, we've all, you know, what people don't realize, you're getting education every day because you're learning something new every day. You may not want to take it in, but you are. That's like when you walking down the street and you meet a random person and you're talking to this person and this person is telling you how their day going and this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But then you learn about that person.
Right.
That's education.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it comes in so many different forms.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's the formal sense of going to school and, you know, getting these good grades and these diplomas and degrees and things like that, which is, again, is not bad. I don't have any problem with that. But we should also remember that it shouldn't be looked down on or shouldn't be looked at as being less than if you're just somebody who just is a very observant person, just pay attention a lot. You just see things. You're in an environment for, you know, 15, 20 minutes and you're already picking up on the lingo that they're using and you're picking up on, you know, that whole, you know, idea that people say like having street smarts. I mean, some of that's common sense, whatever you want to call it, but just having an ability to be aware of what's going on around you and how to pick up information to use in order to do the best you can in whatever situation you're in. So there's a lot of people who aren't the most smartest, can't get the highest grade on, you know, whatever test that they might take, but put them in any environment. And like I said, 15, 20 minutes, they'll pick up on the mannerisms, the language that people are using, and they'll start to just make do with what they have. And to me, that can be a way bigger tool than having somebody who just knows a lot of figures and numbers and can spew them out to you and calculate things, which is, you need those in times, but the person who can just, whatever's going on around them, they can pick up and just go and adapt, that can be a way bigger tool. But this whole thing was about, again, congratulations to him, sticking it out, really taking his time, going to work, getting off of work, going straight to class, you know what I'm saying, getting maybe 5 hours of sleep at night because he's like so restless, and getting up, going back to work, coming back, you know what I'm saying, doing this routine day in and day out for months on end. It's a testament to say, you know, to watch, to see these things happen, you know, and to see people who just stick it out. I would admire somebody doing that regardless of what it was, even if it wasn't school. Somebody who's in a relationship that from the outside looking in, it looks rough, but they have confidence in themselves to get that relationship back online, and they stick it out and they make it work. I admire that as well, you know, because a lot of things are fleeting and quick to us. You know, we need something that happened in a moment. We need it now, and we don't want to wait. And so when you see somebody who's willing to go through the ups and downs and the good and the bad of something to know that there's something better at the end, that's a good thing, you know.
And then, you know, it's also, you know, a lot of us, we are, you know, we're afraid to go to that next step. We're afraid to jump to basically step out of you know, our comfort zone. Yeah. And me, you know, now that I've gotten a taste of what I can do, you know, my mindset is, okay, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? Right. You know, where am I going? Where's my next move going to be?
You know, and that's where great things happen. You know, like, because it's the same way like when you're working out. you know, every time you're working out, or like when UFC fighters are like hitting a bag or whatever, like kicking a bag, you're actually causing small fractures in your shin and all that, but they grow back stronger. So those holes that you created grow back in even stronger. So it's a tighter, strong. So it's just like stretching your mind a little bit. You know, you do that when you put yourself in a place that you've never been, or done things you've never done before. From then on, you don't look at things the same anymore. You know, you just don't see things like that anymore.
Like, you ever, you know, like when people first learn things, they say, my head hurts.
True.
It's not that your head doesn't hurt the way you think it does. Your head hurts because your mind is picking up more knowledge that it didn't know.
Exactly.
So it's like you said, it's your brain is starting to stretch because you're putting so much more into it.
Like all those regular routine things that you were doing, you're kind of breaking it up some. You know, your brain is so hardwired to kind of work its way through things to make things easier for you. Like, you know, the unconscious mind, half of the things you're doing are coming from things you've already been doing. You know, you've kind of created patterns. So your brain, when you don't do those things, it's almost like it's trying to figure out what's going on. It's like, hold on, whoa, you know, this is outside of what we normally do. We don't go here. We don't talk to this person. We don't do this and that. This isn't our sleep schedule. This isn't what we've been eating. Your brain is going to, you know, pick up on that quick. And so it might take a little time to adjust, but pushing yourself to those places you've never been is what's going to get you further.
You know, I know we got to wrap this up, but there's a couple more things I want to say. Don't be, like I said, just go out there and be you, be yourself, meet new people, experience new things, because you'll never know. And basically, when it comes down to it, don't be afraid to fail, because you're going to fail.
That's right.
You're going to fail. That's just what it is. Yep. And if you're going to sit and say, I never, how can you say that if you never put yourself out there to fail?
Part of the process, man.
Yeah.
So trust in the process. Y'all get out there. Y'all do some work, man. You know what I'm saying? Get yourselves busy. And have fun while you're doing it, too. Subscribe to the channel. Follow my man right here if you want to hear or see anything else that he's doing. What's your handle again on Instagram?
Y'all can catch me at grownman84. I'm actually, probably in the next couple weeks or so, I'm going to be putting more videos, you know, basically just trying to inspire people to do things and be better, you know, and whatnot. So that'll probably come in the next couple weeks or so.
Definitely. So, again, this is another episode of the Werds Illah podcast. Appreciate y'all time, man. Peace.
Peace.